Standard Disk is a great model for improving your communication. It has a framework that defines and organizes the different styles people use. You take that knowledge and use it during conversations to communicate better between different styles, which are not all easily compatible. If you've ever listened to a conversation between a bold, direct person and a shy person, you know what I mean. Disk is great stuff. Standard Disk, however, is culturally neutral, and that's a problem. Most of our conversations today are cross-cultural. I'm sure you've seen the identity iceberg. We sail through life having conversations, and we can only see what's above water, not the safest setup. To illustrate, when you're speaking with someone, the only things you can observe are at the tip of the iceberg. You hear what they're saying, you can see their body language, note what they're doing, follow decisions that they let you know about. And from all that, you could get a handle on what communication style they are using. But the message you hear is coming to you through some serious cultural layering, half of which you can observe, half of which you have to infer, some of which you share, and some of which is foreign to you. And this puts the focus on just how you can interpret and understand what they are saying to you. And those layers of cultural similarity and difference rest on an invisible foundation of values. It's like the words and behaviors you see have roots that go down to where they find meaning, the person's why. And much of that can be lost being carried in the bucket full of holes that we call human communication. We humans share all of these values, but culturally we prioritize them differently. And when we find ourselves together in those awkward cross-cultural situations, we're often employing different values. Let's look at an example. I'll describe a conversation, then we'll analyze it using Global Disk. We will follow a three-step pattern. What am I hearing? What style am I hearing? How am I to interpret it culturally? What is the person's why? Some guy is speaking directly, frankly, right at me, detailing my mistakes. I find it off-putting. She seems to think that being forceful, that confronting me in front of everyone is okay. Generally, I don't like being told what to do, but in this situation, I don't take it personally. Her stripes tell me that she's my superior. And objectively, she's right. I know that when we go out on patrol, she would take a bullet for me. And if we keep our squad tight, maybe no one will have to get shot. She's yelling right into the lady's face. Typical D behavior, very assertive. But D is not about people, it's about tasks. It's not one person yelling at another person in a sort of, punishment or correction. It's two people confronting, that is to say, facing something together. They're facing a training issue together. And the D person's attitude would be, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. The drill instructor is using a forceful, assertive communication style, not to have the trainee think it through and understand it, but to have the trainee internalize that knowledge so that it could be used in behavior. And they're using it looks like a confrontational style, but it's really a challenging style. The confrontational style implies that you're looking for compliance. The challenging style, which is just right next to it, implies that you're looking for that internalized knowledge to be used in performance. Now, to put myself in the recruit's shoes. Generally, I don't like being told what to do. I'm very individualistic and I'm not comfortable in hierarchies. But in this situation, I don't take being yelled at personally. Her stripes tell me that she's my superior, and we are in an organization, a collective organization with a chain of command. And objectively, she's right. I know that when we are out on patrol, she would take a bullet for me. And maybe, if we keep our squad tight, no one will have to get shot. Risk avoidance is a value we share. There you have it, a short tour of Global Disc. And as Chavez says, it seems complicated, but it's not. You have 4 disc styles, 5 sliding scales for cultural interpretation, and 10 underlying values that give meaning to the conversations. There's really only one other critical thing to say, and you may have noticed that my cross-cultural example wasn't between 2 countries. I used a civilian military example. Intercultural does not mean international. Or to put it better, cross-border communications are just one subset of all the cross-cultural communications we engage in. You are probably a member of 20 different cultures just being you. And if you look at today's workplace, with its jobs and professions, with its diversity of subcultures and personalities, and its multicultural and often international remote meetings, Global Disc applies as well and better than standard disc once did.